Hello, this is Fuzzy Wingman, and today I'm doing some more Kill Team as usual. And the mission I'm doing is from the Elite's book, the Objective Ultima, because you don't require a commander for that. And hey, it's only up to 125 points, they're not 100 points. So we got Orks and Heretics Astartes going along. So we'll just now see who's got the, can select the deploy zone, and yada 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 yada. Oh, something's going on with that computer. Yep, recording audio computer. Wanted to try to install Java updates. Maybe I should just uninstall Java since I don't think it ever uses it. It's just an audio recorder. Anyway, who's got the greatest strategic advantage? Looks like Heretic Astartes. So Heretic Astartes can select their deployment zone. Heretic Astartes is actually going to choose here as the deployment zone, and Orks will be over here. Orks then get to deploy first. I've already marked out deployment zones with these dice, so I can easily just kind of drop models in without really caring too much. So, objective, and someone's got to go for the center. So with models going for the center, might as well throw some melee going that way. Also, get this guy ready since he can climb up there and do some shooting. Which means this guy might want to try to go flame him a bit. Some cultists over here, because, you know, cultists can camp objectives pretty easily. This guy can grab an objective. And we'll throw these guys to this objective. I'll hold it, no problem. Which means they kind of have to go like that. And they might as well throw some cultists at the both objectives. So Orks are now finished deployment, so now just gotta finish Heretic Astartes. Sure. Alright. Can remove these dice. So now they're just kind of in the way. There we go. That was one of the fastest deployments I've ever had. That's because beforehand I measured out everything. There we go. Deployment. So, round one. Initiative. That is Heretic Astartes getting the initiative. I can also remove these little markers. Don't need that. Okay. How does Heretic Astartes want to go about this? Well, these guys are just going to go camp an objective out of sight, out of mind. And this guy will advance. Ooh, that's a good advance. So you can go like... That's about 3. That's 7... 9-ish. He could go up to a full 11, so who cares? This guy will advance. Again, about 3. And that's about 9. And he could have got 11, so he's there. Okay, and this is about 3 inches tall. So he can go about there. Be within the objective and still be able to shoot. So he's happy there. These guys are going to move forward without charging because they kind of want those guys in the way. He's going to be about there. Ork Boys. Orks. Orks want to make sure they're holding these objectives as they count. This guy's actually going to advance. Alright, they add 1 to their advance rolls too, right? Add 1 to the advance rolls and to the movement characteristic. So, his movement characteristic is now 6 plus 2, and then plus the extra 1. He's actually going a total of 9 inches. Holy. I'm just going to jump over this terrain and get up here. Alright, they don't even take the penalty for advancing and shooting, so he could just unload into this guy. Maybe not bump him around. Or he just destroys the objective. Well, first of all, we're going to see if this guy can... He'll declare charge on those guys. They advance, so they can't overwatch or even fall back or anything. So 9 plus 1 is 10. So we can go about 8 there. Well, you know what? Screw it. He's just going to plop right on top of them. If he had gone even further, he would try to whip around, but that's good. So in that case, he's just going to do that. And this guy's going to declare charge and see if he can get in there as well. 6, that would be 7. Here we go. So he's going to re-roll that. And get an 8. So you can get a little bit more like that. Screw it. This guy's actually going to declare charge on this guy, who will just fire a bolt pistol for Overwatch, because why not? Doesn't get anything. Now the unlikely charge roll. That wouldn't be enough, so he's just going to use Here We Go and see if he can roll something insane. And just gets a nice 8 inches. Goes about there. Now we go into shooting with non-rated models, because there's no rated up models. Orks will spend their 2 command points to shoot first. Heretics Astartes will not spend that command points because they really don't want to be completely out of command points and think they'll survive. So he's going to shoot him with his Kombi Skorcha. First we're going to do his 2 rounds from... What the heck is it called? Oh yeah, the big shoota? No, it's just a shoota, isn't it? I guess this guy's foot can't be seen because of the angle. So I guess the guy technically is obscured. So if he shoots both weapons, he can't hit with the... He needs 7s to hit. Okay, yeah, he missed. But how many shots from the Skorcha? Because the Skorcha automatically hits. 6 shots. All 6 hit. He is Demolition, so he gets to add 1 to his wound rolls. That is Strength 5 versus Toughness 4, so it's now 2s to wound. Oh, boys. So that's 4 wounds. They'll accept that. 4 wounds at AP minus 1, so 4 4-up saves for that guy. He failed 2 of them. There's no way he can re-roll to save himself. So it goes through, injury roll. They have no command points, so they can't re-roll this if it's not great. Well, it's great. They scorched that guy. So that's good for them. Now we go on to non-rated models, starting with Heretics Astartes. They have a lot of bolt pistols. He's going to fire a bolt pistol into this guy because he might as well try. 3 to hit. Hits. A Nob is toughness 4 still, so it's 4 to wound. Doesn't wound. Does this guy even have a weapon? Actually, he has stick bombs. 6-inch range. Alright, he's going to throw a stick bomb. Main target will be this guy. So how many shots? 4. He's just gonna put 1 on this guy and 3 on the aspiring champion. Or is that a smart idea? No, the odds of this doing anything are small, so he's just gonna put all 4 on this guy. He still needs, yeah, he still needs 5s to hit. Yeah, 5s to hit. 1 hit. 5 to wound. Okay, that's on its edge. And it doesn't wound. See, it wasn't worth splitting because there's no way he's going to do anything. This guy's going to fire a bolt pistol at him because, why not? Hits. Wounds. Well, let's roll the dice because if I roll 5, I'm pretty sure he's okay. He is a Nob. Nobs have 4 up armor, so he is okay. He's a little tougher to take down. He will fire a bolt pistol at him. Hits. Wounds. Armor save. Failed it, and now he has Cybork body, so he gets a 6 up. He ignores it. Well, no, he takes a wound. How many wounds does he have normally? 2, so 1 left. This guy has a plasma pistol. He will overcharge and fire at that guy. It is obscured, so 4 to hit. Hits. It's now strength 8 versus toughness 4, so 2s to wound. Wounds, AP minus 3, so it goes through, and damage 2. Oh, damage 2. He actually still has to roll because his 6. If he gets 2 6s here, yeah. I was gonna say if he gets 2 6s, it would have ignored it, but didn't. And that guy's dead because plasma pistol. Yeah, now that's 2 shots. Okay, I don't need to do shot tokens anymore because they've all been used. So we just go on to melee now. Because that's all that matters at this point. Yeah, they just get to add 1 to their charge roll, so it's not like they get to any bonus attacks as this clan. Let's start with this guy, since he can actually hit this guy a little bit better. How many attacks? He's going to have 3 attacks. He's actually going to put 2 on this guy, 1 on that guy. So 2 on him. 3s to hit. Both hit. Strength 7, so 2s to wound. Both wound. AP minus 1, the cultist has a 6 up armor save, so the cultist gets no save. Damage 2. Yeah, so that's a flesh wound. And now the 1 attack on the other guy. 3 to hit. That's cocked. Hits. 2 to wound. Wounds. Goes through. Damage 2. That one's poofed. Was this guy within the 1 inch? Yeah, he was still within 1 inch. So he actually gets to pile in. He has 3 attacks, right? Yep, 3 attacks. 3s to hit. All 3 hit. 2s to wound. All 3 wound. All 3 go through. Damage 2. Alright. Poof. Does he want to go his 3-inch consolidation? If he goes 3-inch consolidation, this guy will just start unloading into him. So he doesn't really want to do that. He doesn't want to give the guy an opportunity to kill him without him being able to punch first. So we'll end that. So we go into morale phase. How many Heretic Astartes originally were here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So with 3, they're only 33%, so they don't have to do a break test. No flesh wounds, they're okay. Orks have only lost to 6, so that's 17%. Okay. No flesh wounds. How does scoring work? Okay, they score a point for every secondary objective they have. If they're holding this one, they're holding 2 secondary objectives. So they'll gain 2 victory points for now. Not bad. Yeah. Round 2. Heretic Astartes are now at 4 command points. Orks are at 2 command points. Initiative. Orks. Orks have the initiative. Alright. So, that's good for the Orks, actually. He's actually going to declare charge on both models. They'll both just overwatch. No hits. He would go a whopping 3 inches, but since he has, here we go, he's re-rolling that. There we go, 10 inches. He should be able to go bloop right there and be on both guys. He's declaring a charge on both models. They will both overwatch. He will first fire. That's definitely on the side. Doesn't hit. He will overcharge and fire. And doesn't get a hit. There. Will that be within 1 inch? No, so he will do the whole going over here because he can move 4 there and another at least there, so there. He made sure he was in melee with both models. So now they can't really move anywhere, and then he just goes plop. He's holding the center objective pretty well. Right, that's a scoring dice, not a other dice. So now we go on to Heretic Astartes. He's at least going to take some shots at him. It's not going to do much, but he's got to try something. We go on to shooting phase. Heretic Astartes are actually going to spend their 2 command points to have him shoot first, because otherwise this guy will just flame him and he'll be gone. So he's going to try his best. He's got an autogun. Guy's out in the open at least. Forced to hit. Wow, 2 hits. Strength 3 versus toughness 4, so 5's to wound. Oh, 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves for that Ork. Okay, he would have even made his t-shirt save, so Ork is good. Wow, that was 4 6s that I just rolled in a row. And now the Ork just shoots back. Should check the range on his weapons. Skorcha is 8 inches. Oh, yeah, he's got him. He's just going to use this. Well, he's going to use both weapons, because why not? So, if he does that, he still can't hit because the guy is obscured, so he needs 7s to hit with the shoota, so whatever. Now, how many shots from the Skorcha? 3. Not bad. Strength 5 versus toughness 3, so 3's to wound. Oh, guy's obscured, so 2's to wound. All 3 wound. AP -1, so it goes through his armor save, so injury roll. They'll just accept it, because a cultist with a flesh wound is a useless cultist. So he doesn't care. That's that. No more shooting, because everyone else got charged. So we move on to charged models. Starting with, well, Heretic Stars have no charge model, so we just go I can choose which knob gets to punch first. Alright, they're the same knob. They both have 3 attacks. So we have this guy with 3 attacks, this guy with 3 attacks. We'll start with this guy. He'll put 2 attacks on this guy and 1 attack on the Aspiring Champion. So the 2 attacks on the guy with the Power Sword, because that guy's dangerous. 3s to hit. 2 hits. Yeah, strength 7, since I can't get them strength 8. So it's 3s to wound, right? Yeah, 3s to wound. Both wound anyway. 2 4-up saves for that guy. He made them both. So that Orks is probably going to have a bad day. So the one on the Inspiring Champion doesn't even hit. Does he want to try? No, he'll save it for the other Ork. This Ork, he's going to put 2 on the Specialist and then 1 on the Non-Specialist. So the 2 on the Specialist, 3s to hit. Both hit, 3s to wound. Both wound, 2 4-up saves. Failed one. They'll spend a command point to reroll that because you know what? Oh, they failed it. Damage 2. So injury roll is flesh wound. Do Orks want to... You know what? The Orks will spend a command point to reroll the flesh wound. This result because they don't want him to... Alright, it's a flesh wound. They can't roll well, so he will have a bad day. And now the 1 attack on the non-specialist. And he whiffs. Well, time to select the Heretic Astartes. That will just slice, slice, and slice. You know what? We'll start with this guy. He's the combat specialist, so he gets to add 1 to his attack. Also, I just remembered I need to check their Legion traits. Since they're World Eaters. Oh, if they were charged, they also gain an additional attack this phase. So, he's got 3 base, 1 from Combat Specialist, and 1 because he was charged. 3s to hit, but he doesn't get to generate attacks because he's not finding anything Imperium. So, 2 hits. We're just going to save that. He's strength 5 versus toughness 5, so 4s to wound. Both wound. AP minus 3, so goes through. Both go through, so I'm pretty sure that Ork only has 2 wounds. He does. Injury roll. I think they've already spent their command point to reroll, so the Ork will just have... Yes, they did. So this Ork will just have to take a flesh wound. And now we'll select this Corn Berserker. It's a Zealot. Okay, that only matters if he charged, so he doesn't get his bonus for charging. But he gets 3 attacks anyway, because 2 base and then 1 for being charged. So 3 attacks, 3s to hit. That one's cocked, but still 2 hits. Strength 6, so 3s to wound. Or you can roll those snake eyes. And now we'll do this guy who just has, well, 3 attacks. Because 2 base and then 1 for being charged. 3s to hit. 2 hits. 3s to wound. 1 wound. AP minus 1, so Ork gets a 5-up save. Failed it. He's got 1 wound left. And now we can continue to select all the the Corn Berserkers all over again. So I'll go back to him, who has 5 attacks. 3s to hit. It's cocked, but, you know, oh god, 4 hits. 4s to wound. 1 wound is all you really needed. It's AP minus 3. And then injury roll. Plus 1 from the flesh wound is dead. 3-inch consolidation. Well, technically, Orks can choose for someone to fight now, and this guy hasn't been chosen to fight yet, so he's going to choose his time right now and punch. Dang, he has 3 attacks. Well, he can pile in, so pile in, 3 attacks. 3's to hit. 1 hit. Strength 5 versus toughness 4, so 3 to wound. Wounds, 3 up armor. Made it. Now we go back to these guys, which are chainaxes, yeah, with 3 attacks each. Jeez. So we'll do this guy. 3's to hit. 2 hits. Strength 6, so 3's to wound. 1 wound. AP -1, so 1 5-up save. Failed it. Goes through his last wound. Injury roll is dead. Three-inch consolidation. I think for objectives, you have to have the most models on it. Within 2 inches. I'll have to reread that. Because if it's within 2 inches, I think that's core rule book for that rule. Okay. It's supposed to be 1 inch across. So basically, if I measure from the center of the objective, they have 2.5 inches. So this guy now counts as he is within. Not wholly within, but within. So they have the most models. But that also depends on morale phase now. Orks are at half, so they don't do a break test yet. Heretics Astartes, they're at 5 out of 9, so that's more than half. Heretics Astartes do have to do a break test. 11, they failed their break test. So now we have to do morale. Let's start with, say, this guy. His leadership... He's leadership 7. So with this guy subtracting, if I roll 6, it's still an 8. So he could still fail. Or he rolls the 1 and automatically passes. This guy can fail. That becomes a 6. He passes. He's a champion at 8, but there's not anyone close enough, so he can roll 6 and he would still fail. So that's an 8. He just passes. Aspiring champion's probably 8. This actually matters. Wow, they don't even get to reroll failed morale checks, so shaken. Oh, wow, that's lame. Now the cultists have probably got a bad day, so him automatically passes, and they'll spend a command point, their final command point, to make this guy automatically pass because he's standing on an objective. Whew. So, Heretic Astartes just barely have enough people on the objective to technically be controlling this. You only gain this point. So they only gain 1 victory point. And their team is broken. So yeah, round 3. This could turn very... Oh yeah, points. Heretic Astartes only go up to 1 command point because their leader is shaken. Orks lost their leader, so they're only at 2 command points. Orks still have the initiative. He's going to advance. Ooh, nice. That's 6 there. You can go another 6. So he's right there, nice. He doesn't take the penalty, so he can shoot at a cultist. Try to bump them off an objective. If this guy falls back, he can't do any shooting, so... He knows if he falls back, these two could still charge him, so there's really no reason... Actually, the reason to fall back is that this guy has a power sword. But yeah, if you fall back, you can't react, can you? Yep, it cannot react if it falls back, so... He wouldn't be able to overwatch with his flamer. Do you have a pistol? He... doesn't. Oh, technically he had a choppa, so he actually technically had one extra attack on that, but whatever. I mean, let's just even roll real quick. Did it even do anything? Okay, this actually would have done things. Holy heck. So he would have actually wounded, and this guy actually would have failed an armor save. Okay, this actually mattered. He would have actually killed this guy, so that actually mattered. His choppa gave him an extra attack. I completely forgot that. So, in that case, he will ready up, because technically the guy who got next to him, he actually punched. Gotta read these data sheets carefully, because that mattered. Oh shit. That also mattered because then these two would have been the only ones holding the objective, and no one would have held the objective, meaning they wouldn't even have this victory point. So, wow. That one punch was super, super important. It actually makes the Heretics Astartes have even worse of problems. That probably means some of these morale checks would have been tougher, but still. Oh yeah, these guys rolled 1, so that doesn't matter. It would have been this guy, but he probably was okay. Alright. So that was that with retconning. And now we go on to Heretic Astartes. Can they really do much? Well, this guy's going to ready up to try to stop the Ork. Actually, this guy's going to do the smart thing and charge that Ork. Because he can bog down the Ork so he can't shoot the guy on the objective. And the Ork will overwatch. Ork advance, I don't even think he could overwatch now that I think about it. 4 inches is probably enough? Yep. He's doing his best to stop that Ork. And now, Heretic Astartes is actually going to charge with this guy to him. He's going to overwatch. First we'll do his shoota, which actually hits. I don't remember what its strength is, but a 1 doesn't hit. And then it's Skorcha. How many shots? 3. All 3 hit. All 3 wound. So 3 4-up saves for that guy. Makes them all. Charge distance is enough. And the other guy charging in, he doesn't have to care. Because there he goes. Alright. Now we go on to shooting phase. He gets permanently skipped because there's no targets now. Now we go into melee, starting with Heretic Astartes. Let's do this guy. Now, one little cultist. He has 1 attack. His team is broken and he's injured, so it's 6 to hit. Doesn't hit. Right, these guys will be taking penalties. And now we can actually attack with them too. Start with this guy since he's the Zealot, which in this matters since 2 attacks base, 1 attack for being the Zealot, and 1 extra attack because World Eaters, so that's 4 attacks. It's going to be forced to hit because their team is broken. 2 hits. He's the Zealot, so I get to add 1 to his strength. And he actually becomes strength 7 from this. But it's still toughness 4 Orc, so it's still 3s to wound. 2 wounds at AP -1, so 2 5-up saves for that Orc. Saved 1. So he's got 1 wound left. And then we'll do the drunk. He's got 3 attacks. He's 2 base, 1 extra for World Eaters, 4 to hit. 2 hits. 1 wound. 1 5-up save. Saved. Now we go on to non-ready models, or non-charged models, starting with him. Because it's starting with Orks. So he's going to put let's see here. So he's got a choppa, so that means he's going to have 4 attacks. You know what? 3 on this guy, 1 on this guy. So the 3 on the guy with the flesh wound already. Stupid tree. Well, that one's, yeah, I've been counting some of those as not cocked, so I'll just say that one's a hit. Just to save time. And then, 3 to hit? That's definitely a wound, whatever it was. The guy gets a 3-up armor save. He makes it. The 1 attack on the other guy. Hits. Doesn't wound. They have command points. They'll spend it because, they can get lucky again. Wounds. Saved. And now, now technically Chaos can select theirs guys again, so we're selecting this guy. So he's got 4 attacks again. 4's to hit because the team is broken. 1 hit. 1 wound. 1 5-up save. Failed it. They've already spent their command point to reroll, so injury roll. Dead. So they got the objective and they'll just stay there. So they have the objective. And now, Ork Boy. This could be really important. Ork Boy has 2 attacks. And 3's to hit. Can't really see what that was. Alright, he gets his snake eyes. So it doesn't matter. Morale phase. Orks actually have to roll break test now. 10. They're clearly going to be broken. We'll roll the Ork Boy out here. I mean, what's an Ork Boy? It's leadership. 6? Oh god, I have to roll 1s for them. There's no way they can pass even with a 2. Actually, no. That guy would have passed on a 2. But this guy needs to roll a 1 now. Failed. So the Orks are stunned. You got no one there. But now we have the Heretic Astartes. We'll roll this guy. Yeah, that's a 9. So failed. This guy automatically passes. This guy. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's 2, but it gets plus 5, so it becomes 7. And he's leadership 8, so he's passed. This guy's probably... Well, we'll roll this guy next. Gone. And then they'll spend a point to automatically make him pass. So that they can at least gain 1 victory point. Since right now it works, they're still in the lead. Silly enough. So yeah, we go on to round 4 because the game doesn't technically end. I guess technically Chaos Heretics have the initiative because, well, Orks can't do anything if everyone's stunned. Oh yeah, command points. Heretic Stories are at 1, Orks are now at 2. How does the Heretic Stories want to do this? This guy's going to advance. So he goes 6 this way. 5 this way. So he's getting closer to that Ork Boy. This guy's making sure they have the objective. And this guy's just going to stay there. No shooting would happen because no one can shoot anything because he advanced and everything. no one can punch. So we would actually literally roll to... No, now we have to do morale phase, because morale phase still matters. Orks are just going to roll for this guy, who passes. And then they'll spend a command point to make this guy pass. So now all Orks are active. Heretic Astartes. We'll just roll for... how do they want to do this? Because this could be important. We can only spend the command point on one person, so who would they want to spend? First, we'll roll to see how people do. Let's start with the Aspiring Champion. He's got the best odds right now. That becomes a 5. He passes, clearly. This guy. That becomes an 8, so he would fail. And that tree falls over yet again. And we'll just say someone broke the tree and it's just going to stay on the ground. They're going to have to spend a command point to make this guy pass. Guaranteed. So that means they have to roll for these two. So roll for this guy. 4 plus 5, because I have to add the 1 from the guy who's stunned. So that becomes 9. Stunned. So now roll. Come on. That's still stunned, because that becomes a whopping 8. And they've already spent to make that guy pass. So they managed to still hold the center objective, so they do go up to 2 command points. So the game is now technically tied. And then we roll to see if it ends. It does not. So turn 5. Heretic Stars are at 1 point. Orks are at 2 for command points. Initiative. Heretic Astartes have the initiative, which is probably good for them. They can't dislodge this orc, but they can at least make sure they're here. And this guy will remain. Now for the orcs, I'm actually going to keep this guy here. Because if he punches, he can do a 3-inch consolidation and get to this guy. Well, yeah, because if they try to get someone there, I don't think they're going to succeed. Well, let's see here. He's going to go for the super crazy double charge on those guys. They can't see anything, but they're going to stay put because, might as well. He's going to use Here We Go to reroll that. So it would be 8 inches. Can he do it? He goes like 2 there. He will not be close, so he's just going to stay there. It was worth the charge. If he rolled double 6s, he would actually be able to go right here, and that would be insane. So, movement's done. Shooting phase. No one can really shoot. Well, no. He can shoot, so he's going to shoot at that guy. It's not going to do anything. I mean, orcs are broken, so he needed 7s. So he couldn't hit. So we go into melee, and that's only him. 2 attacks. 1 hit. He's gonna strength 4 versus toughness 3, so 3 to wound. He wounds. Cultist gets a 6 up armor save. He fails it. They don't want to spend the command point on that because the odds are not good. And if he does, and they need to keep the command point for keeping someone from breaking. The orc does kill him. So the orc gets to go his 3-inch consolidation and is on the objective. So he can prevent them from scoring. Because we do now go on to morale phase. Starting with Heretic Astartes. At this point, spending a command point to make him pass literally does not matter, because the orcs can spend a command point to make him pass. So The only reason to spend this is to make the Orks spend their command point, but they can't. The Orks have more command points than them, so there's no point. So we'll just roll, starting with the Aspiring Champion, since he's the one that can succeed. You subtract 1. He gets +4, so that becomes 7. So he still passes. This guy, fail, super fail. This guy automatically passes, so if the game does happen to continue, he can murder. And then we'll just roll for the cultist. It doesn't matter at this point. He's shaken, but at the same time, the Orks will now just roll. Will he pass? No, I don't care. And they spend a command point to make this guy pass. Because if the game continues, they want him to be able to punch. Well, no one gains any points. Because even though they hold the main objective, they don't hold any secondary objective. Oh, does the game end? Yes, it does. The game ends, and it is a draw. The Orks managed to actually hold off the Heretic Astartes for quite some time. Yeah. Quick, interesting game. Thanks for watching, and have a fabulous day, everybody.
Wow, that was a great battle between
Orks
and
Heretic Astartes.
so if you like that, you should go watch more or subscribe.